This energy gives behind enemy lines. And I don't know the depths. I guess maybe we'll find out the depths that this energy has gone to, but there, right off the jump, was a draw to the collective by this energy. However, there's some kind of difference. There's some kind of, it's giving like Romeo and Juliet kind of, where you're in this family, you're in this belief system, you're in this upbringing, you're in this way of living, and the other side is the enemy, just because they believe different, live different, came from different. And it feels like this behind enemy lines energy went looking for validation, confirmation that the collective was in fact villain and enemy energy. They went looking for deception. They went looking for faking. They went looking for a reason behind the draw, a reason behind the magnetism. They automatically, because they come from different places, they automatically assumed, oh, I'm drawn to, magnetized, having this desire for the collective because the collective is manipulating things. The collective is doing things nefariously to pull that out of me. So they went looking, spying, gathering of intel, of data, to confirm that what they felt wasn't genuine, it wasn't real, it was manipulation, it was illusion. But what they're finding, instead of finding that the collective is this villain, they're finding that this existence that they have or that they've created is the illusion, and it's not what it seems. It's not a happy place. It's not a healthy place. Which is shifting their view with the collective. It's almost increasing, heightening that desire, that magnetism to the collective, which is bringing up uncomfortable emotions, anger, rage, because it's so contradictory. I'm not supposed to like, want, desire, but I do like, want, desire. And they're in this place of illusions breaking down, realities being seen. Now, off the cuff, sometimes it's too little too late, depending on what type of intel gathering, what type of activities the behind enemy lines character has actually partaken in. If they have helped destroy, if they have helped tarnish, if they have helped carry out false narratives, then it's kind of like, well, I'm sorry that you didn't see it, but you kind of crossed lines here that we can't go back from, type of energy. The Lilith card in reverse. So the collective is bringing out parts of this person that were suppressed, that were shunned, that were exiled, that were not allowed to be. But those parts are coming out. Lilith in reverse. They are not able to suppress it anymore. We've got Venus out again. I just got a notification from Lemonade. So love, desire, passion. 7th house and 9th house. So relationships, higher learning, travel. 9th house is also expansion with Jupiter. 7th house is also balancing of scales with justice with Libra. All right, give me a zodiac sign to go with this energy, please. Thank you. Scorpio, 1818 could be significant. 1818 on the clock. Having rising and evening routines could be significant, as I just got a notification for my evening routine. Scorpio is transformation. This card also says secrets, power, and purification. So there may be an exposure, a cleansing, a purification of old power dynamics and things kept secret. This feels like the enemies to lovers. But again, it depends on what someone has done while being in that enemy energy. Have they crossed lines that you can't come back from? Because if they've crossed those lines, it doesn't really matter. Once the trust is broken to the point that it cannot be repaired, it doesn't matter what the reality of things are. It doesn't matter that it was a meant to be type of energy that was convoluted with illusions. Like it when things are deteriorated to a certain point, there's no repairing it. 2 could be significant. Standing in duality, balance, boundaries. Spread your wings in reverse. This energy could have done things to stunts because they felt like the collective was manipulative. They felt like the collective was doing things in a nefarious manner with nefarious intentions. And it feels like this had more, 7-11 on the timer, this had more to do with internal projections than anything else. Leap of faith in reverse. All right, give me one more of these. This energy feels very, I don't feel like I'm in my normal energy. I feel like I'm in a tired, a grieving, zapped energy. Like all of the steam, all of the helium let out of the balloon, all of the steam let out. Like there's no, almost like a what have I done? 7-7 could be significant. Give me one more of these cards, please, source, just to... Thank you. Yeah. Let go. Let go of grudges, wounds, and pent-up feelings through healthy activities. Actually, I want 2 more. I'm getting 5. 5 could be significant. Life path number 5. 2 more, please, source. Declutter in reverse. So there's still work that needs to be done with this behind enemy lines energy. 1 more, please. Top of the deck. Expansion. And I did feel the expansion energy with 9th house. Whatever this situation is, this is like in the middle of being sorted out. It's not, they're not worked through yet. Collective, there is a need to let go of any dense emotions that you have connected to this and continue on your path. That does not mean that you're allowing them back in. It will be This is a collective reading. So if you need clarity, confirmation, insight on your personal journey, you can book a session with me. This is a collective reading. So I can't get into specifics on everyone that is going through this, whether it can be repaired or not. Some people, it can be repaired. Some people, nothing really nefarious was done. It was just an internal animosity, an internal situation, and they didn't act anything big on it. Others, there was a lot of action on it, and it cannot be repaired. The contracts have been severed. All right. And again, that's going to be determined by each individual case. Now, this person is not taking any leaps of faith towards you. They're still in the middle of whatever these illusions are. They haven't cleared all of that out. So they may be on the beginning of an awakening, a beginning of a awakening journey, and I think that you go through several awakenings. You have lots of new awarenesses, and this is just one. Like, this is the start of a new leg for them. But collective, if you cleanse this energy out, you heal what happened, you realize your side, and you let them have their energy back, you don't carry it, that will move you forward for your expansion. All right, that will help you to transform as well. All right, what else can we give this collective source? King of Pentacles in the upright. If you know that this is a major contract that was supposed to go a different way, or you saw going a different way, you put big labels on, there's a need to focus on your material groundedness. All right, shift off of the love, shift off of this person, shift all of the focus away from, pull all of that energy and focus back, and focus on what you're building, focus on what you're creating. Okay, this person may or may not be a part of moving forward. I'm also getting, with all of these reversals, that they are cluttering things up for you. So don't take a leap of faith towards this. This is something, declutter in reverse and spread your wings. Spread your wings, both in reverse. This is like not flying and cluttered. This is anchored. So this energy, whatever has transpired, is anchoring, because they are still in an old paradigm. And or this may never come together because of actions that were taken. We have free will. And if people go down certain paths, it severs contracts, even contracts that were meant to be something else. You cannot cause certain levels of damage to a connection and then just expect, oh, it's going to be okay because we're insert spiritual title, so everything's just going to be okay. It's just going to work out. No, enough damage can be done. Enough free will choices can be taken that contracts are severed. There is no more going back. I'm not saying that that is the case for everyone, but there's a realization that needs to be had within the greater collective, that just because there's a title on something, just because you feel like somebody holds a spiritual contract title in your life, does not mean that they are guaranteed a place in your life, especially if they aren't doing the work, especially if they take steps to cause damage, inflict damage to your connection, to your life, your path. Okay? Nine of Wands. Yeah, collective, you need to put your boundaries up. You need to protect yourself, and you need to focus on what you have in front of you, not the energy around. Okay? The Magician. fell over on top of the declutter in reverse and spread your wings in reverse. They may be manifesting you. They may be in the feeling that I was having before it started to kind of perk back up. The feeling that I was having was a dread, I cannot believe it. Like, what did I do? What, is there any repair? It's a very almost desperate to fix energy. And they may be manifesting you. They may be doing things to try to bring you back in. The moon in reverse fell on top of declutter reverse and spread your wings in reverse. But it is very clear that this is not something that's aligned with you right now. If it ever will be, I don't know. I don't see the future, okay? But right now, this is not, it's very clear. There's nothing hidden about this. There's nothing hidden about this person going through whatever they're going through and needing to go through that transformation of their own. Go through those realizations. Collective, if you go back to when you first started having these big realizations about your environment, about the world, about you, about the choices and how your choices have led to where you are and led to things transpiring, there's a lot of healing and a lot of work that needs to be done between that point and where you are now. Like years of cleaning out, reprogramming, learning to exist in a different way, settling the nervous system, purging, giving the nervous system time to go offline and repair itself and rebuild. You don't have control over that, okay? If you've been in a situation where your nervous system has been on high alert for years or decades or maybe the majority of your life, it's going to go down. It's going to shut down into a cool down, and it's going to take time to repair itself, where you don't have motivation, you don't have interest, you don't have the want to do anything because your body is not letting you feel those emotions because it needs to be shut down to repair. It's like running a vehicle at its hottest, at everything at its max for a long distance, overheating the engine. When you overheat the engine, you don't just turn the car off for 15, 20 minutes and then turn it back on and okay, let's go on this trip again. You have to give it time to cool all the way down and then see what damage was done that needs to be repaired on the engine from the overheat, if any. With your nervous system, there's typically damage that needs to be repaired. Mindsets that need to be repaired, environmental factors that need to be changed and repaired, and then you slowly bring it back online, okay? And as somebody who has gone through those nervous system shutdowns, where my nervous system actually felt safe again, 1818 on the clock, actually, or on the timer, actually felt safe again, so it shut all of that down and I couldn't do anything. I didn't have motivation, I didn't have drive. It was like I was in a depressive state, but I wasn't really depressed. Those periods take time. And the more that you push yourself, the more that you force your way out of it, the longer it's going to take. And this person is going to have to go through all of that. They're going to have to go through the realization of what they've surrounded themselves with, who they've surrounded themselves with, who their people actually are. Maybe this is family, maybe this is longtime friends, and how those people actually have an effect on their life. That is a lot of work. Okay, if they've been this certain way for 30 something, 40 something years, you can't expect for them just to flip a switch and it's different overnight. It takes months to start creating that change. You can create big change in your life inside of a year. I've done it. But it takes consistent work and consistent work after that. It's not like 6 months, a year, you've put in this work and oh, you're done, you're a different person, you don't have to do work. It's not like that. This healing journey, this awakening journey, this self-discovery journey is just that. It's a journey. It's not a destination. Can you create real change in your life 6 months to a year? Absolutely. Are you going to absolutely change every aspect of your life in 6 months to a year and then not have to do any work after that? No. No. It takes time. I know that people like to, nope, you can change it all and it doesn't take time to do. It does. Healing takes time. Reprogramming triggers takes time. Working through triggers takes time. Desensitizing to those triggers takes time. Healing through relationships takes time. Healing what you've put yourself through and the lack of trust that you have with your inner self, with your inner child, your inner teen, takes time. Does that mean it's going to be a decade before you're functioning at a decent place? No, you can start functioning at a decent place within 6 months to a year, but the work's not done in 6 months to a year. This type of work to actually change your life, your inner world, is consistent effort that doesn't stop. It is a journey. And this is exactly why the majority of people do not go on this journey. They start it, they stop it, it's too long, it's too hard, it's painful. That's what, if healing was easy and it happened like that, everybody would do it. If you could sit back and say, oh, source, heal my mother wound and speed it up 3,000 years so I don't have to feel the discomfort, and bam, your mother wounds were healed and you didn't have to feel any and you were done, it was healed. Everybody would do this. Everybody. That may give you a placebo effect, just like taking a sugar pill gives you a feel-good placebo effect. In science, saying those things may help shift things for you to start putting in the work to change things, may bring awareness for you to change things. But for those out here that say that you're saying some magical phrase and your wounds are just erased and just completely changed, that's not how it works. Those wounds are tied to lessons. Lessons are not learned by saying a magical phrase. Lessons are learned by experiencing them, going back over them, learning that lesson, pulling the insight out of the experience, integrating it, and then changing behavior. Okay? Do light codes and do these people who do these phrases, do they have some effect? Yeah, I'm sure they do. A sugar pill has an effect to a certain extent as well. And there are a lot of studies that show that. All right. If your mind thinks that it's doing something, yeah, it's going to help. Is it going to absolutely get rid of whatever wound you're telling it to get rid of that's long-standing? No, it's not. It takes time. It takes consistency. If we could sell a phrase to somebody and it fixes the wound, people would not still be sitting in a wounded place. They wouldn't. If all it took is saying, source, heal this, speed it up by X amount of years so I don't have to feel the pain and discomfort of it, and we were just magically healed and we didn't ever have anything to do with that wound again, everybody would be healing. Everybody would be jumping on this bandwagon. Everybody. But it takes more than just stating things to create this true internal change. Is that a part of it? Yeah, you are telling your subconscious, your nervous system, your environment things, but follow through matters. That's just like saying, I want to become a doctor, but never going to university, never going to medical school, never completing the things that you need to complete to get there. It doesn't happen. This person is going through whatever they are needing to go through. Will they complete it? Who knows? Okay? They are clearly seeing not only if you jumped onto their bandwagon or attached to their wagon, it would slow you down and clutter your life up. But they're also seeing that the way that they're thinking and living and perceiving reality is cluttering their life up. It's not an illusion anymore. Okay? And yes, I've tried those phrases. I've also been doing deep trauma healing every single day since 2018. Every time I see something, have something come up, I'm dealing with it right then. I'm dealing with it in real time. Because who I used to be is not somebody that I liked, not somebody that I loved. I did not like who I was in my unhealed, inauthentic self. So I've tried it all in this healing journey. Do those phrases have a help of starting things, giving you that feel-good push, helping you get the confidence to go and do, help maybe awaken your awareness to things? Sure. Does it do all of the work for you? No. If it did, everyone would do it. Everyone would do it. And we wouldn't have unhealed people out here anymore. If it was as easy as saying, Source, heal this wound, we would just sit for a week and just say, Source, heal this wound, Source, heal that wound, Source, heal this, and we'd be perfect humans. We wouldn't have any wounds. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. It takes consistency. It takes actual effort. Healing is not a passive thing that you just say something and it's done for you. It's active. It takes self-reflection. It takes looking in and looking at, this is my behavior. Why am I behaving this way? This is my emotion. Why is this emotion here? And going to those roots. Six of Cups and King of Swords. So this could be the energy that this is tied to. Could be a King of Swords. Could be somebody who just was head over heart and ignored emotions, ignored magic, ignored energy. Give me more about this King of Swords and Six of Cups, please. Empress, and she fell kind of sideways. So this feels like a maternal interference, family interference. There could also, because it fell on top of Manifest, it fell on top of the Magician. So there could be a mother figure or a maternal figure around this person that is actually manifesting for them to stay stuck, for this not to come together and fly. And I want to just point out that if you're saying these phrases, that there are people online on these platforms that are like, oh, just say this and it clears everything away. It does. If you're saying those phrases and not taking action to aid in those in your life, you're staying in the same environment, you're doing the same things, you're interacting with the same people, you're not changing anything, nothing is going to change. When we don't change anything, nothing changes. Strength in reverse. So this is somebody that used dominance, used the material world, used maybe a sharp tongue to control. So this is a lot of cleanup that somebody has to go through. But collective, if you've been feeling them around you, put your boundaries up, focus on building your empire, focus on grounding and the creation that you have in your 3D reality. Put the titles away because it is messing people up, and allow this person to go through whatever this person has to go through. If you guys are genuinely meant to align, if they are genuinely a part of your end cycle, your end game, Source will align it without you having to lower your standards, without you having to settle, without you having to take down boundaries, without you having to put yourself in a unsafe or unrealistic. You should not have to bend yourself into a pretzel in order to have this come together if it is actually a meant to be energy. Okay? If this isn't a meant to be thing, they will do the work, y'all will align, your paths will collide in some serendipitous way when you're aligned without you having to betray yourself or sacrifice yourself. Okay? Yes, there are compromises in all connections. I'm not talking about the basic compromising. I'm talking about bending yourself in a pretzel to allow them to come back in. All right? I'm going to leave this here because this energy, there's a lot to it. There's a lot, I think there's a lot on both sides. There's a grieving of what could have, should have been. And there's a misconception about there being a guarantee no matter what one energy or another energy does because of some spiritual perceived contract or title. Okay? If you're sitting back saying, oh, that's my twin, so they're just going to wait for me, they will be right. 3111 on the timer, 3111. They will be ready when I'm ready. And you're going and you're doing all kinds of harmful things to the connection, harmful things to them. No. You're taking advantage of what you perceive to be as a spiritual connection. And that could be a lesson in and of itself. That you can't just treat people however you want and expect for them to be there because you see them as your twin flame. You see them as your higher level soulmate. You see them as your divine counterpart. I can treat you however I want, and when I'm ready to heal, when I'm ready to settle down, then we'll come back together. When I'm ready for you, then we'll make this work. And in the meantime, you're doing very hurtful things in between. That's a good way to sever any contract that was there. So, this energy, both sides feel like a reality check is taking place. And reality checks are often this energy, not very chipper. They're often very, oh shit, what did I do? Oh no. Oh no. So, that being said, there you have it. If you need guidance on your personal journey, you need insight, you need source-led confirmations, you can book with me. Happy healing.